Everyone is talking about the new F1 game, but what if I told you there is an old F1 game that you've never heard about, and it's even endorsed by a multiple F1 world champion? But this isn't your average F1 game. It's got more in common with WipEout than it does with actual real-life F1. And the name of the game is Nelson Piquet's Grand Prix Evolution. So let's check it out. And now we're going to begin the first World Championship race. Here we go. You can obviously tell how old this game is by how bad the graphics are. Lots of pixelated textures. But they say even for the time period that this game was made, the graphics are still really bad. So you can obviously tell this is some sort of weird F0/Wipeout knockoff. As we now actually get ahead of Nelson Piquet, temporarily 3/10 up, just for those earlier section of the race, as Nelson Piquet overtakes us into the next corner, and now he's about a second up on us, just like that. Something must be wrong, but you can see just how much the ship is just bouncing around on this straight. It's kind of like the 2022 F1 cars. How is he 6 seconds up? Bruh. Like in the normal, quick race mode, Nelson Piquet is actually beatable, but for some reason, now he's all of a sudden like 4 seconds up on me. That's unfair. He's probably using like an upgraded ship or something. Back in the day, F1 used to have refueling. So this game also has refueling. As now third place is catching up to us. It was temporarily like within a second of us, but that gap has grown back up to 2 seconds again. So there it is, P2, podium position. Got absolutely destroyed by Nelson Piquet. Almost 10 seconds up on us. So now we get to the upgrade screen, go to next, and there's only 2 upgrades in this game. It kind of sucks. It's just this thing for handling mostly, and then this is the engine, of course. We're Ferrari, so we're going to use an engine upgrade, because like Enzo Ferrari said, aerodynamics are for people who can't build good engines. So next race, and they're actually going to get harder and harder. For some reason, the developers thought it's a good idea to put the tracks in sequential order. So as we get further into the season, the tracks are just going to get harder and harder. As we now get a good start against Nelson Piquet, now half a second up. In fact, a full second up on Nelson Piquet this time. He hasn't just shot off into the distance. This was definitely one of the easier tracks in this game, particularly, but you begin to start seeing some heavy braking zones. Every time you see these black and white signs, you're heading into a heavy braking zone. From here on out, it's just going to get worse and worse throughout the season, as we're now actually pulling off a gap of over 5 seconds to Nelson Piquet. Very nice. Easy P1. Because of how much handling is important in the later tracks, let's actually get some handling upgrades, because advanced was easy, but now we have to turn it up to hard. You can see Piquet mode again. It's like the developers of this game were like in love with Nelson Piquet. You can tell the age of the game by the fact that they mention a CD-ROM drive. Year 2100, the latest Grand Prix World Championship has evolved into something different now. And you're one of the drivers. You'll have the chance to drive incredibly powered vehicles up to 200,000 horsepower. These last generation cars are equipped with twin turbines that can push you up to 1,200 kilometers an hour, floating on a magnetic surface track with sudden turns, hills, and tunnels. Across the line, as you get a really bad start, look at our engine. It's taking forever to get up to speed. And now we're all the way down in P5 after being in first place from leading the championship. How unfortunate. One thing about this underwater track, I don't know if it's just my eyes, but this track looked so much better on Windows XP. Like, I feel like you can actually see through the glass, whatever this thing is above the tunnel. Now it just looks like a really flat 2D texture. As we're now fighting for P2, I get overtaken by Watson, and let's see if I can get ahead. As we get really close and get bounced around, he's really pulling away now, pulling in almost a second on us. So now we're in P2. I don't know when we got the overtake done, but hey, it's done. Nelson Piquet, once again, flexing on us, pulling off a 6-second gap as we drive past the pit lane. We run across the line, you're pretty much stuck in no man's land throughout that entire race. So yeah, it is what it is. Once again, just cruising to P2 and building that gap to 3rd place. And now hit at Antarctica, the one continent where F1 doesn't race. This one, I think, it's actually not too bad in terms of handling, as we once again get a really bad start. I feel like the hard difficulty just like makes my car worse for some reason. Ooh, as the bouncing around just kind of destroyed our vehicle there. Now I gotta warm it up again from 0%, losing so much time. Now we're 10 seconds away from P6, so much lost time. Ooh, P6 and P5 crashed, and now I just get 2 positions up for free. P4 is now up ahead, up the road, within a second. Nice. Through the first lap, overtaking this guy. Just run into the back of him. Let's see if you can send it down the inside as we get blown up through that overtake. And look at this, bro. What's good? This difficulty is a joke. The hard mode is just making my car slower, or as Alonso used to say, GP2 engine. Now I gotta make up all those places we gained. We almost gained 3 positions in that last lap, but now we might just finish outside of the podium on this race. And that's not good because the tracks just keep getting harder and harder from here on out. Like you'll see, if we make it to round 10 and I'm not bored, you'll see that track is just ridiculous. It's just corners on corners at like really high speeds. Oh yes, let's go P5. Ooh, nice. There's P4 up the road. The game's just lagging. Let's go P5. Could have been better, but it is what it is. So that now puts us still in 2nd in the championship. You can see how important building that gap is. As we now have some more money, we're going to funnel it into some handling upgrades. I really feel like it's going to make a big difference. The age is showing Windows 95, Windows 98 with a Pentium 233 MHz processor. This is the thing we're looking for right here. Driving suggestions from Nelson Piquet. This game has a completely new driving style, so a pair of days to get used to the new style are required. It is also important to know that some vehicles perform better on certain tracks, while on other tracks they could be lost in the final ranking. And then you can tell like the developers were just, or whoever started this project is just simping for Nelson Piquet. They literally just give you a whole biography in here, literally telling you all the cars he drove, how many seasons he drove, all these wins. Like, these guys must be Brazilian or something. And there are 6 driving classes. The one you're looking for here is PK mode, the hardest difficulty. They also then go ahead and explain the point system inside of the game and how you buy upgrades and all this nonsense. Despite all this, there's literally no mention of the controls in the game. Nothing. Let's go ahead and open up the game. Now onto round 5, which is the military plant. This track ain't bad. Still pretty manageable. As you now start P6, and look at this, bro. GP2 engine. This is like GP2 engine, but in the future, bruh. So now we're about P6, surprisingly not that far behind. So you just drive just between those 2 cars, gaining 2 positions within seconds of each other. Ooh, P3, let's go. And let's see if we can overtake this green car right ahead. Ooh, as we go side by side through that right-hander. Fortunately, couldn't make the pass. Let's get past this guy. Come on, let's go. Yeah, P4. Man, the podium position is just so far away. I literally don't see them. Oh, as you get overtaken for P4. Dang it. Look at our engine, bro. It's down at like 90%. What is going on? It's like we're running out of power. No power. As we just keep getting overtaken due to the sheer lack of power. Almost 30 seconds ahead of last place, but P6, not good. As we now fall down to 3rd in the championship, thanks to this GP2 engine. So we're gonna start track number 6. This is where it starts to get really, really bad. Come on, get up to speed. Or is there something I have to do? Because this game doesn't even tell you the controls, you have to guess them. So let's try a different camera angle. I think this one's a bit too much. It's just a headache to look at. Ooh, everyone was just together there for some reason. And you'll see this track just gets really, really tight. Look at this, bro. It's very narrow. It's like the Monaco of this game. You can see the pack is just bunched up, getting overtaken. Someone's gonna crash here. It better not be me. Let's go P2, guys. We're on the road to win this. You know what these magnetic barrier things remind me of? They remind me of WWE. You know those things they put on around the ring? It's kind of what I see every time I just think about it. In my opinion, this is the best looking part of this whole track, with this cool looking tunnel. Finishing the first lap in P3, leader is not too far ahead. You might not catch up, but the good thing is we're in the right spot. Alright, let's go. Our first podium in a long time. Very happy to have done it on this track of all tracks. Now let's check out the credits, because this is where we have some special stuff. So if you open this up, you see special thanks to Nelson Piquet, the 3-time F1 world champion for sports, and help in the development of the vision of a possible future of Grand Prix racing. I thought they just paid for the license to use his name. Turns out they actually asked this guy for help, or at least they claim to. So that's interesting. Very small team, so that probably explains the bad quality of the game. Brazil, interesting. Then you have the next screen. I'm not sure why you'd buy a Logitech steering wheel for this. This seems like a completely different company. The developers don't even exist anymore. This is where it gets really hard, trust me. Yeah, not just the engine being annoying. This track is actually a pain to drive. One thing I do like though about this track is the whole red and black aesthetic. It looks pretty nice. We get into the first super heavy braking zone. You see, could have almost crashed out from that one. Ooh, as these guys also run wide at the same time. Ooh, can we overtake these guys? Ooh, not. So close. Yeah, so close to the podium. Here's another difficult corner. I literally have to brake, otherwise I will crash. Now we're in P4. Seems like one of the leaders had to slow down there. We just barely missed crashing into them. You know what, I'm pretty happy. I think those handling upgrades we did really did the trick, because we're having almost no problems around here, even though the difficulty is higher than the days before. And you might just get a podium here. I'd love to see one. Ooh, let's go. Oh, come on. Are you serious? I literally was on the road to a podium, and now I'm in P6. This guy, look at him, he just crashed again. Really ruined my race just to end up in P6. Bruh. Looks like I might get a podium after all. Or not. Ah, what a joke. We could have actually won the race since we finished P4 after all of that. Lights out and away we go, getting an absolutely horrible start again. Bro, is this like the 2019 Red Bull or something? It's absolutely horrible. As we're now over a second behind, and I think this one's more power dependent, so it'll be interesting to see if the power deficiency actually makes a big difference or not, as you're now up to P5. Thankfully, this race might not be over yet. P4 coming up. P4 done. Just as we're about to end the first lap. Ah, close one. Coming across the line, P4, and getting overtaken back down to P5. You can see the power advantage really helping out the guy in the blue ship. He just built such a huge gap on us. As we now get overtaken and re-overtake. Let's go. I think at this point the championship battle is just over. There's no chance, especially as the tracks get harder and harder. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe my upgrade path was actually a good idea, with focusing on handling rather than pure speed. We shall see. Can we get P5? Do you think I can get P5? Then half a second. Oh, he just pulls up 3/10 just out of nowhere on the exit. Here we are, P6. This was more of a power track, and you know, just wasn't expecting any good points. Nah, dude, I genuinely feel like something's wrong. The earth was not that pixelated when I used to play this game. No ways. Oh, as we bump into the other driver. Thankfully, no harm done. Now up to P6. These starts are just so bad. There's no ways we're gonna actually win anything with these bad starts. We just have to pray that the guys ahead get into some accidents or something to get us up the order. Ooh, is that P5? Let's go. He might just catch him. Into the tunnel. Nah, he just pulled a huge gap on us. And this might be the longest tunnel I've ever seen. We're traveling 700 kilometers an hour and the tunnel just keeps going. It's like some Armored Core level stuff. As you exit the tunnel, P5 is nowhere to be seen. I think this is more about power track once again. And we're just losing out so much. Just on the straights, you can see we catch up to him and then he just starts to pull away. Ooh, maybe we can get him into this next zone. Ooh, what? He just got past us just like that. Dang. We had him there for a second. It's like less than a second. As we come out of the tunnel, P5 is just completely gone. Literally a ghastly P7 race. Was it P6? I can't remember. Oh, I just realized driver's number is actually number of drivers on the track. Ah, English, man. Let's see. This should be more fun. Let's do that. This will be much more chaotic. Let's do it. As we get off the line, getting about 4 positions off the line. Make that 5, make that 6 and 7, 8, 9 positions, 10 positions. Now into the podium positions at medium difficulty. Well, if you look at the shadow of this thing, it looks like an F1 car. So you see that front wing shape, you can see a bit of the side pods and all of that. As we get overtaken and overtake again. Ooh, getting close. And it just blocks me, but some guy gets slowed down a lot. And P2, let's go. Nelson Piquet is long gone. It's a shame that nothing interesting happened in this one. My old recordings had some really spicy moments. This is going to be the hardest race I have ever done. We'll see if that maxed out handling upgrade is going to give us everything we need to be competitive. Because this engine definitely ain't doing that for us. Dead last, over 2 seconds behind the next guy. Can we make it back up? Ooh, that was easy. P6 now. We'll see how much power this track needs, because it's not only very fast, but it's also very curvy with these kind of very heavy braking zones with almost zero runoff. You can see, look at that runoff, it's basically non-existent. It's like your average modern F1 street circuit. Wow, it's actually not that bad. I wonder just how much difference the handling upgrade is making. It is so much better. We're actually even catching up now. P5 within half a second of us. Can we make a move heading into this next zone? Ooh. Not at all. But we do manage to keep the gap. As he now pushes over a second on us. As we're now within half a second now. Catching up to this guy. Can we do something about it? Getting close, but not close enough to overtake. You can see just how much he pulls away on the main straight. He just got so much power. While I'm out here chilling with my GB2 engine. Oh man. There it is. Just as I was starting to lose my focus, I just get absolutely wrecked. Yeah, it's weird. The difficulty just decided to kick up now. But weirdly enough, it's like there's some rubber banding. Every single time I crash, these guys just slow down for me. Like if this was the F1 game, I basically wouldn't catch up. Like watch again. See, there's Marlin, he's gone. Long gone. Then all of a sudden, As I speed up, it'll just pop up. Whoa, that was close. Since I'm lost, let me show you the pit stop. You press spacebar, you're pulled in magnetically, get boxed, and you get refilled. You press spacebar to stop at any time, and you get launched out. And finish. Disappointing. You're literally going to be challenging for the title, and then this nonsense happens. P5. Oh dang, I haven't seen this in a while. Team Ferrari. Wait, this guy's in my team. Really? Then where's the Constructors' Championship? You should be winning the Constructors' Championship. So this is pretty much what an unrealistic F1 game would look like. But if you're more interested in actually realistic F1 games, then definitely check out my other video on the screen.